Okay, good evening everyone. So welcome to our demo today. In last class, which topic we have seen? Software architecture, right? Okay, fine. So in today's class, first of all, I'm going to recap that one. So then we can go for the next part. Just a quick recap. Mm, Okay. So coming to the software architectures, how many type of architectures we have, sir? 4. What are those? 1-tier architecture, 2-tier, 3-tier, and n-tier. For each architecture, how many layers we are going to have? 3 layers. So what are those? Web server, app server, and server can also be called as layer. That means you can call it as layer, or you can call it as. Okay, coming to the web server, sir, what is the main purpose of using this web server, sir? To show the, it is also called as presentation layer. It is which layer of application? Top layer. In real time, who is going to work here? Front end developers. What they will use, sir? Web technologies. Example for web technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Coming to the server number 2, it is app server. App server is also called as business layer, or even though you can call it as logic layer. What is the main purpose of using app server? To use the application. What is the main purpose, sir? So it is going to be the middle layer. And coming to the server here, in real time, who is going to work here? Backend developers. What they will use? Programming language. Example: Java, Python, C, C++, and so on. Like we have some n number of things here. And coming to the last one, it is called as database server. You can call it as data layer. Main purpose of using this one is to store and retrieve the data. It is which layer? Bottom layer. Sir, in real time, who is going to work here? Database admins. What they will use, sir? Database languages. And example: SQL, MySQL, Postgres. We have some a number of things there. Okay, then fine. So when we come into the architecture part, sir, each architecture is going to have how many layers? How many? What are those? Web server, app server, and database server. With the help of 1-tier architecture, what kind of applications can we develop? Standalone application. So this application is going to work without all 3 layers will be on local. Example: VLC media player. So coming to the second one, it is 2-tier architecture. What kind of application can we develop? Client server. So this application work within only. That means if I want to use it, definitely I need to have the. Now tell me one thing: in client server application, which servers or which layers will be on local? Web server and app server will be on, but database server must be on internet. Example is some banking systems. And third one, 3-tier architecture. What kind of applications are we going to develop? Web applications. So here we need to install the application locally, or can we use it from internet? So for 1-tier, 2-tier application must be on local, but for 3-tier application can also be accessed anywhere from the internet. Is the point clear for all of you? So here every layer is going to be separate, as all we know. So example is everything is going to be the web application nowadays. So now tell me, as a DevOps engineer, what kind of application you are going to deploy in real time? Web application means how many servers you need to create, sir? How many? So this is the point you need to understand. Of course, our main role and responsibility is to deploy the application, right? First of all, if I want to deploy the application, I need to know what kind of application it is. Why? Because if I know the kind of application, I can create the servers according to it, right? So now you tell me, I'm a DevOps engineer. I'm going to deploy the application. What I'm going to do? So here to deploy the application, for example, my application is going to be web application. So now how many servers I'm going to create? 3 servers. What are those? Web server, app server. For example, if my application is a client server application, now how many servers I want? 2. What are those? Web server, app server will be on one server, database server will be on second server. Clear now? Guys, to understand how many servers and to understand the kind of application, you learn the software architecture in the last class. So now whatever the stuff we learned on the last class, I have shown one practical part on it, right? We have deployed the Netflix application. Which application? Sir, how I deployed the Netflix application means by creating the server. So in today's class, that is what we are going to see completely. So in today's class, we are going to talk about the servers. What we are going to talk about? So my first question is, what is the meaning of server? Already we said. Server means serves to end user. What this server is going to serve? Server will serve the services. Okay? Server serves the services. Simply. Server will serves the services to what kind of service? Any kind of service. For example, if you take Paytm, the best example to explain the server is Paytm. I mean, of course, we are having a number of examples, but in this case, I'm going to take the Paytm. What I'm going to take, sir? So give me a second. Fine. So Shino, you can join on Telegram, Shino. So from there, you can get the syllabus copy. We already given the syllabus copy on Telegram. Please ping your admin, okay? He's gonna ping you on the comment box. Or please wait for end of session. So I'm gonna provide you here. And all of you join on Telegram. Okay, have you seen the syllabus content there? Fine. So today I'll upload the notes also. Project. I think notes I need to upload on Google Docs, like here, Google Classroom, I think so. But okay, fine. Let's check. Guys, here I would like to know one thing from you. So here, what is a server means already you know. But currently in our course, which cloud we are going to learn? Which cloud? AWS cloud. Fine. So I'll explain the server example. For example, here are you seeing something here? Some diagram. So can anyone tell like what is happening there? Server serves the services. So for example, if you go and see now, here there are 3 people. So person A, person B, and person C. Now let's consider person A requirement. Person A requirement is he want to eat biryani. What he want to eat, sir? Person B requirement is he want to eat the salad or like ice cream. Let's take ice cream or like anything. So I'm going to write ice cream. And person 3 requirement is she want to eat some salad. So person A want biryani, person B want, and person C want. So now like tell like how is going to work for you know. Server 1 is going to call server and tell him that I want biryani. Server is going to kitchen and bring the biryani or not, sir? That means server serving the user or not. Again, one more time, user number 2 is asking server, server, I am hungry, I want ice cream. Server listen to the user and serving the ice cream or not, sir? Again, after some time, user 3 is requesting salad from the server. Again, the server went to kitchen and she bring the salad or not, sir? The practical example, what you are going to see. So first of all, in our course, we are never going to see that any technical examples. We will compare the technicality with this kind of real life scenarios. Everyone definitely visit the restaurant once, right? So by using the restaurant example only, now we have learned about the servers concept. Which concept it is? Servers concept. Fine. So finally, you got some clarity about server, right? In a single word, tell me what is the meaning of server? Server serves the services to whom? End users. Is the point clear for you? Fine. Okay, sir, you said about server serves the end users. Okay, fine. So if we talk about server now, like of course, there are some hell lot of examples in the internet. Okay, but don't follow the Google definitions always. If you follow the Google definition, you cannot remember it always. So what I'm going to do is, instead of by hearting the Google definitions, we will derive our own definitions to explain something. So here, like if you go and type on Google, right? So I'll type you here lively. I'm asking to Google, like, tell me what is server. Here it is going to tell some examples. So server is a program or device that provide functionality call for the clients which are in the program for other device. Like it is going to give some complex definition, right? So you have seen this definition and you have seen our definition. Which one is easy to understand, sir? Our definition, right? It is short and sweet. But at the end of the day, both definitions are going to give the same meaning. Correct or not? So in our entire course, we are not going to use Google definitions, never. That's for sure. We will derive our own definitions and make it sync for the real definitions. Is the point clear for all of you, whatever I said? Fine. Already coming to the part of servers, we have seen how many type of servers, right? Web server, app server, and third one is going to be your database server. Okay, fine. So you said about web server, app server, and database server. So now here my question is, sir, currently we are using AWS cloud. So in AWS cloud, your server is going to call as EC2 instance. What we are going to call it as? So in AWS cloud, your server is what you are going to call as EC2. The full form of EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic Compute Cloud. Is the point clear for all of you now? So now can anyone tell me what is the full form of EC2? Elastic Compute Cloud. So even though you can call it as instance, but for now we are going to remember as EC2. What we gonna remember it, sir? Seems fine. Okay. So now here my question is, sir, whenever we are going to create any kind of server, so there must be a process to create the server. So in form of EC2, whatever the server we are going to create, it will take totally 7 steps. How many steps, guys? So here I'm writing, to create a server in AWS, we follow 7 steps. Which steps? Okay, fine. Sir, for some time, try to imagine your server. Try to imagine your server as a computer. Why? Because servers can also be called as big computers. All of you know this point. Servers are nothing but your big computers. I'll ask you a couple of questions. How many of you use computers here? Computers. Think all of you use computer at least once, right? Tell me any few important things of a computer or laptop. Monitor. Okay, fine. Okay, tell me few important things about laptop. Few important components. Storage, then processor, then RAM. Still application. Okay, so there are n number of factors, right? So here also, when you are creating the server, we need to allocate some properties for the server. What we need to allocate? So in the following 7 steps, I'm going to clearly explain you what are the things we are going to give to a server. Sir, coming to this one, the first of all, if we want to create a server, we need to give the tags. What we need to give? So in the tags means you can give the names, you can tell the client name, you can give the environment, you can configure whatever you want. So for as of now, the step number 1 is going to be tags. What is your step number 1, sir? Inside tags, what we can give? Name of the server, we can give the environment name, we can give the client name, you can give whatever you want. So if you go and see, na? And one more thing, to create the EC2 instance, you need to have AWS account. Currently, I'm not going to tell you how to create AWS account. Why? Because first of all, I'll show you how to create EC2 instance. Then in tomorrow's class, I'm going to show you lively how to create your own AWS accounts. So go to here. So I'm gonna log into my AWS account. So this account you are going to create on tomorrow's session. So don't worry about this as of now. Wait. Okay. So currently I'm having my EC2 dashboard here, like it's the AWS account, which I'm gonna show on next class. Don't worry. Sir, in this AWS account, now we are going to create EC2. What we are going to create? So if we go to search bar here and if you type here EC2, are you seeing this one? What you are seeing in the below, sir, virtual servers in the. So before I tell you something like how to create EC2 instance, first of all, you need to understand the difference between server and virtual server. So here I'm telling, for example, I have a server. I have a server. So now let's consider when I have a server in some physical location. Okay, if I see it, if I touch it, then that is what you can call as on-prem server. What we can call as? So on-prem. First, you need to know like clarity about this one. On-prem. On-prem server means the server which is going to host on our own company. For example, if I have a company, in that company, I want to create my server separately. So that is what I'm going to call it as on-prem server. Second one is going to be the virtual server. Which server? Virtual server means if I create a server on cloud, then that is what I can call as virtual server. Virtual. The only difference between on-prem server and virtual server means on-prem servers is going to be created by humans. That means we need to create the server, we need to install, we need to manage everything. But if we create a virtual server, that is going to manage entirely by the data centers. That means simply your cloud provider actually. Who is going to manage? So again, on-prem server means it's a physical server. Which server? Physical server. And who is going to manage this one? We need to manage. Second one is virtual server. So virtual server is going to create on cloud. Who is going to manage this one? Cloud provider. Cloud provider means your AWS, GCP, Azure. So these are your cloud providers actually. What we can call them as cloud providers. So now again, like I am teaching this one. So listen here. So servers are majorly like these two types. Of course, we have some n number of types. Okay. So first one is going to be your on-prem server. Which server? On-prem server is nothing but your physical server. Who is going to manage everything here? We need to manage. Second type is virtual server. Which one? So virtual server is going to create on where, sir? Cloud. And who is going to manage the complete virtual server? Cloud provider means who? AWS, GCP, Azure, Salesforce, DigitalOcean, and lot of things there. Okay, fine now. So here, if I click on easy to know, here you can see virtual server in the cloud. That means this cloud is going to create completely on virtually. That means like it is completely managed by the cloud provider only. Click on this one. Sir, now tell me how many steps we gonna use to create this EC2 instance? 7 steps. So if I type here EC2, just to go and click on launch instance. What I'm gonna click on? First of all, here as I suggest, I have given tags or no, sir. Tags means you can give your name to the server, you can give your environment, you can give client, lot of things we can add. But for as of now, first of all, I am giving the name for my server. So my server name is Netflix server. Which server? Is the step number 1 clear for all of you? Everyone. What is your step number 1, sir? Giving name for your server. Now, here comes your step number 2. Very, very important. So now tell me, I already said you to assume that server is equal to computer. Server is equal to. Now tell me, if I have a computer, I want to communicate with my computer. Which component I'm going to use? Yeah, correct only, you said. What it is? OS, operating system. Sir, without operating system, can we communicate with computer, sir? Why we can't communicate with computer? Language problem. Which language we can speak? We know Telugu, Hindi, English, mostly Kannada or like. Or if any BTS fans is there, they know some Korean language here. Anyone there here? Yes, sir. If okay, fine. Okay, sir. So of course we can speak this kind of language, but computer knows only one language, that is called as binary language. Which language? What is the meaning of binary language, sir? Zeros and? Tell me one thing. Can we learn binary language? Is it possible even? It is highly impossible. Or can we teach computer for Telugu, Hindi, English? So there must be a translator required now. What we require? The translator is going to communicate with the computer instead of me. If I say something, like if I say to computer, computer open me the file. Computer will not open for me. Why? Because computer doesn't know what I'm speaking now, right? For that purpose, here we need to use some operating system. What we need to use? So this operating system part I am not going to teach now. Why? Because it's your Linux concept, which is going to be our next class again. Okay. So here I'm just touching the basic part. Operating system is a kind of software which is going to establish communication between human and the computer. Without operating system, we cannot use any kind of computer, sir. Without operating system, can we use any computer? Why we can't use? Why we can't? Due to communication problem, right? So for that purpose, what happened, here I am going to install the operating system. Sir, installing the operating system means AWS people already install operating system on one place. That is what I can call as AMI. what I can call as AMI means Amazon Mission Image. Basically, it's a template actually. What it is? In this AMI, already your operating system is installed. So when you create a server, again, we are not going to install the operating system anywhere. Why? Because this template, AMI template is already having the operating system. If you want Windows, you have the Windows AMI. If you want to use Linux operating system, you have Linux AMIs. Or even though if you want Mac OS, you can also use the Mac OS. So here we are going to have some operating system. Apart from operating system, we will have some packages as well. What we have? So some predefined packages. For example, if you ask like if you want to work with Java, you can install Java directly there. No, sir, if I want to work with Python, you can directly install Python. Whatever you want, you can install there. It is your component number 2. So now tell me, what is your component number 1? Tags. That means you want to give the name. Your component number 2 is going to be AMI full form is Amazon Machine Image. In AMI, what we will have? OSN. Why we need to have OS? To communicate with computer. Without communicating with computer, that means your server, we cannot able to do anything. Are these 2 points clear for all of you now? Everyone. Online, what about you? Are these 2 steps clear for everyone in the class? Can you please confirm me online once? Okay, so seems it is clear for everyone. Thank you. And one more thing, guys, if you want to speak, I'll give unmute option at the end. Don't worry. So packages means if you want to install, for example, if I want to install Java, I need to install in the form of package. Okay, there is a package manager called yum. I need to install like that, which you are going to see on upcoming classes. I hope it is clear for you, Rizwan. Fine. So now in step number 3, you have the operating system now. You can able to communicate with computer. But sir, if I want to communicate with computer, you said OS is required. But one more thing also mainly we need to require, sir, to run the computer. What is that one? RAM and processor. That means your CPU. Without CPU and without RAM, your computer is not going to work. In case of server also, whenever we are going to create any server, definitely we need to configure the RAM and CPU. Without RAM and CPU, your computers are not going to work anyways. So in step number 3, I'm gonna select the instance. In the instance type, I'm gonna provide you the details of CPU and RAM. Guys, here memory, like memory in the sense RAM. Of course, ROM we are going to see it separately in your step number 6 actually. In step number 3, what you are going to configure, sir? Instance type. What do you understand by the meaning of instance type? What are we going to configure here? CPU and RAM. By default, in our AWS account, we can use up to 130 CPUs also. We can use up to how much of CPUs? 130 plus actually. But there is going to be some cost parameter here. Okay, 130 CPUs means it is going to be very high, right? Right, you can use the RAM up to some GBs, like for 100 GB if you want, 200 GB also you can use up to your choice. But guys, those resources are not going to be free for you. We need to pay amount for it. For that purpose, to practice, in AWS, we are going to use instance type called T2 micro. What we are going to use? In T2 micro, you are going to get 1 CPU as well as parallel you are going to get 1 GB of RAM. So these both are completely going to be the free of cost. That means you are never going to pay any single penny if you use the T2 micro. Now tell me, in instance type, which type we are going to use? T2 So T2 micro means here you need to use 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. Are we going to pay money for it? No. But if we use more than 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM, we definitely need to pay the money. So here if you go and see, so AMI, are you seeing one AMI here? I am not going to use this AMI, just take N minus 1. That means currently it is 2023 AMI, right? I am going to use Amazon Linux 2. What I am going to use? Why? Because that is a standard one actually. If you use Amazon Linux 2023 also, it is fine. But it is not comfortable to use. Why? Because it is having some minimal bugs actually. For that purpose, I am going to use Amazon Linux 2. Coming to instance type, which one we are going to use? How many CPUs we will get? And how much of memory we get? 1 GB of RAM. So it is your step number 3. Again, one more time. Step number 1 is giving the tags. That means you can give your name. Step number 2, AMI. Here you can give the operating system and packages. Step number 3, instance type. Here you can select CPU and how much of CPU and how much of RAM is going to free for you. 1 CPU and 1 GB of. If you want to use 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM, which instance type you are going to select? T2. So are these 3 steps clear now? Guys, like fine. So now I am going to proceed with the step number. Step number 4 is nothing but your key pair. What is your step number 4? Sir, the name itself is indicating key pair. What is the meaning of key pair as per you understand the word? Like what is a key pair? Here the name itself like indicating, right? Key. Like what do you understand by it? So basically there you are going to have the key for login. And here pair means you are going to have 2 keys. How many keys? So why we are using the key pair means to log in for our server. Why we use it for? For example, sir, you have the laptop, sir, like you have the computer. In your computer, you are having lot of personal details, which is very, very important. So we need to put some keys or not, sir? If the key is there, the computer is secured. But if there is no key, what will happen? Anybody can able to access the data. For that purpose also, whenever you are log into the server, if you use key pair, you can log into your server securely and safely. How you can log in? For that purpose only here we are going to use the key pair. Coming to the type of key pairs, basically we have 2 keys, public key and private key. How many keys? First one is going to be public and the second one is going to be your private key. Guys, public key is going to store by the AWS and private key users are going to store it. So public key is going to store by whom? AWS, and private key is going to store by whom? User. Is that point clear for all of you? So 2 type of keys we are going to have. Public key and so public key is going to access by and private key is going to access by users. Fine. Now in step number 5, before going to this one, like I'm going to show you. So if you go and click on create new key pair, I am going to give the key pair name as Raham key pair Netflix. Okay. I'll just click on create key pair. What I'll just click on? Sir, this key pair is going to be in the form of like this, sir. See the key pair here? It is which key? Public key or private key? Or you can see it, right? It is the. So if you log in with that key to your server, it is going to be very, very secure. Why? Because are you seeing the password for this one? Can anyone able to remember this password? Can anyone able to write the password on their own by seeing after also? No. So for that purpose, we use this key pair. So it is going to be a step number 4. So again, step number 1 is going to be tags. Step number 2, AMI. What we are going to see on AMI? OSN packages and instance type. CPU and RAM. So here you are going to use T2 micro, which comes with 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM, and keeper main user for login purpose. How many keys we have? First one, public key. Second one. So now here the main point comes of all of this network. What it is? Sir, without network, can we able to connect to any system? No, right? Of course, if we want to communicate with your system also, you need to have some network. Why? Because without network, your computer cannot able to communicate. Of course, they will not respond also. You have the computer, you want to do some work. Without net, can we able to do anything here? Why? Because the network is going to be most important parameter of all other things. Fine now. Sir, server is also need to have some network, sir. For example, why we need to use network means I'll tell you. For example, I have the application here. It is my server. In my server, I have the application. Which one? Application. So this application is going to run port number 8080. It is a Tomcat port number. Which one? 80. So it is going to be running on your Tomcat server. Which server? So now it is going to see like this. Whenever you use this one, if I want to access this application is running on port number 8080. Sir, I need to enable this port or not, sir? Without enabling this port, can I able to access the application? No. Of course, if not on technical world, I'll just tell on the general world. See, for example, it is you. Okay, it is me. For example, let's consider. When you want to contact me, we need to have some network, right? Of course, you have my number, you have phone, and you have everything. Without having the proper network, how can you able to communicate with me? No, right? So that is the importance of network. For example, I have a server. Inside this server, I have the application. So whenever a user try to access this application, you need to have the network and ports also. What we need to have? Here port means if you want to contact me, you need to have my mobile number, right? So your port is nothing but mobile number, which your application is running. In a simple word, port is nothing but whenever you want to speak with anyone, you need to get their contact. If you dial the correct number only, other people can able to speak with you, right? Here also in server, we are going to open a port. What we are going to open? In that port only our application will run. Now user give that port in the browser. That means the application is going to send him the response directly. I'll show it practical, don't worry about it. Why? Because everything, whatever we are going to discuss. So you need to cover both theoretical way and practical. So in networking, you are going to talk about two things. First of all, VPN. First of all of you know about VPN, right? So in AWS, we are going to call it as VPC. VPC means virtual private, which is going to create our own network. Sir, for example, if I have public network, in public network, what I have done is I create one server. Everybody can able to access or not, sir? I don't want it. I want to create my own network. In my own network, I can set my own rules or not, sir? That means only one person want to access me. I can able to set it. So in order to explain this one, for example, let's consider this one. There are 30 to 40 around in the class. If I give my number in the board, anybody can able to contact me, right? Which is going to be create mess for you. But not like that. One of you only want to contact with me. In that case, if I give number for only you, customized number, only you are going to contact me or not, sir? That means what I am doing here, I am restricting here. What I am doing? So how I am going to restrict means by using the network, my own network. So here you are going to set two rules. First of all, your VPC. Second one is going to be your security group. In security group, you are going to open the ports for your server. In security group, what we are going to open, sir? Ports. The default range for port in your server is 1 to 65,535. And this is a security group range, guys. Again, one more time, I am telling you. In network, what is your first component? VPC means it is going to create our own network. And after that, once you create your own network, my application running on a server, that means I need to have the ports here. What I need to have? Where you are going to get the ports from? I'll add it. Security. Security groups. In security groups, what you are going to open, sir? What is the range of port? 1 to 65,500. So in between that port, your application can run on any port. In between that port, your application can able to run on any port. It is going to be your rule number 5. So if you go and see, just click on edit. After clicking on edit, by default, AWS will have one default VPC. Okay, I'm having the default VPC now. Later, in security group, I'm going to give all traffic. Click on add security. Instead of custom, I'm going to give here all traffic. Custom also, I'm renaming it as anywhere. So here I'm writing this point, okay? So whenever you come for network, so first of all, you need to click on edit. After editing, you need to click on add new rule. So protocol. So here what we have given, sir? Type. All traffic. So here in type, I'm going to give it as all traffic. And second thing, so source type, here I'm going to give it as anywhere. So I'm mentioning as type anywhere. So again, third time I'm explaining about the network. So in networking, how many components you are going to see mainly? 2 components. First component is VPC main purpose is to create our own network. Second one, security group. Why we are using security group? 2 ports. Like what is the range of port? 1 to 65,535. So you need to go to here. So the moment if you click on edit, okay. So you need to click on add new rule. Here you are going to select all traffic. Instead of custom, you are going to select anywhere. That's it. So once you have done this, your security group part is done. So final part we are going to pending is storage part. Which one? So in AWS, you can call your storage as EBS volume. By default, EBS volume is going to have 8 GB. How much? That is the minimum limitation. And you know the maximum limitation of EBS volume? Can anyone tell me what is the maximum limitation of EBS volume? 16 terabytes. How much? 16 terabytes. So those are the minimum and maximum values of your EBS volume, sir. Again, I'm telling you, the minimum value for EBS volume is 8 GB. What it is? And the maximum value is up to 16 terabytes. So these are the 6 steps to create your EC2 instance. How many steps, sir? Again, we will recover like all of this for once. Step number 1 is giving the in tags. What we can give? In step number 2, what we can give? AMI. AMI full form is Amazon Machine Image. What we will have in AMI, sir? Operating system, packages, and so on. Step number 3 is going to be your in instance type. What we are going to configure? CPU and RAM. Sir, if I take T2 micro, how many CPs will I get? And how much of RAM will I get? Coming to the key pair. So key pair mainly is used for the login purpose. How many keys we are going to have? First one is public key. Second one is private key. So next one, network. Coming to the networking part, here we are going to have VPC. VPC is to create our own network. Security group is to create our own. What is the range of ports here? 1 to 65,535. So step number 6 is going to be, so storage we are going to call as EBS volume, elastic block storage. Minimum is going to be 8 GB for server. and maximum you can give up to 16 terabytes. How much, sir? So now all of this we have done, right? There is one more step pending, that is called as your summary. What we can call it as? Summary means whatever the configurations we have done, we can revise the summary. Summary means whatever the configuration we have done, we can look into it. For example, if I want to reconfigure it, I can reconfigure from there itself. Sir, finally, if I done with it, I'll click on the launch instance. But now I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I want it to show you one more time. Configuration, everything I'm cancelling now. We will configure it second time, lovely. So now you tell me in step number 1, what I want to give here. Name, I am giving it as Netflix server. Step number 2, I'm going to give AMI. So here I get the OS. By default, I need to select N-1. Why? Because it is a stable AMI. Instance type, I have already T2 micro. And again, key pair, I already have. No. I already have one key pair. Na? So I'm using the Raham new key pair Netflix. In network, first of all, we need to click on edit. So security group here, I want to give all traffic here I'm giving. Next, click on add security group. Now tell me what I want to select here. In custom, what I want to put. By default, I have 8 GB of EBS volume or not, sir. So finally, if I want to launch the instance, click on launch the instance. Guys, this is the way how you are going to create the EC2 instance. Okay. These 7 steps. Don't worry. For every class, starting day to ending day, we are going to create this server daily. So if you see the creation for 1 or 2 times, it is going to be very, very easy for you to understand. So before I proceed further, connecting to server, are these 7 steps clear for all of you now? Everyone. Online, what about you? Are these 7 steps clear for everyone in the class? Can you please confirm me and chat once? If it is clear, we can go for the next part around. Okay, fine. So, okay, I'll repeat it one more time for you. So for both Fires and Abhay. So guys, so like total number of 7 steps we are going to have. So step number 1 is giving the tags. That means we can give name for our server. In step number 2, I can give AMI. AMI is Amazon Mission Image, which is going to have the operating system and packages inside it. Already these are installed in the AMI. So again, we are not going to install the operating system and softwares. Instance type. So here you're gonna give CPU and RAM for your server. We are going to take T2 micro, which comes with 1 CPU as well as 1 GB of RAM. Step number 4 is going to be your key pair, which is going to mainly use for the login purpose. Which purpose? So how many keys we are going to have? 2 keys. First one is public key. Second one is going to be your. Coming to the network. Here we have the VPC, which you can create our own network, and security group is to give the ports. Port is used to communicate with your application. For example, if you want to communicate with me, you need my number. So inside server, if your application is running on some port, you need to define that port on the security group. Otherwise, people cannot able to access the application. Next, coming to the step number 6, here we are going to talk about EBS volume, which is going to have minimum 8 GB and maximum 16 terabytes. So step number 7 is going to be summary. So this is the way how you are going to create EC2. So I hope it is clear for you, Fayaz and Abhay now. So we need to create 2 different keys at a single time. No, one is enough, Fayaz. Tags means you can give name and other things if you want to give for your server. Fine. So till now you have shown us how to create the EC2 instance, right? So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you how to connect to your server. First of all, click on this one. Okay. Are you seeing the connect option? Click on the checkbox. Click on the connect. So if we go to here, again, you can see one more connect option, right? Click on that connect. Now here, are you able to connect to your server, sir? Are you able to see it? That is going to be your real-time server. So as a DevOps engineer, in real time, you are going to work on the same server, sir. Entire configuration, what we have done is to connect your server. Are you seeing the server? So in your classes, you are going to use the same server. Of course, in real time also, you are going to work on the same server. Of course, there will be some changes in the AMS and instance type of. In real time, we use very big CPUs and large amount of RAM. Okay. There might be some configuration changes, but the process and everything is going to be the same pattern. Is the process clear for all of you? Know? Everyone. So now what you are going to do is, I'll deploy the application one more time. Before deploying the application, how many are new for today's class? Just want to know. Just day one. Okay, 4 of you. Fine. So first of all, take this image all of you. Instead of writing the notes, just take it once. All and just give me a couple of minutes, like. Done for all of you? Fine. Sir, now in today's session, so I'm gonna show you how to run the script one more time. Already in last class, have we deployed the Netflix application? Can we deploy it one more time? Okay. Don't worry about the script. Why? Because scripting I haven't started for you yet. Just understand how we are going to automate the things. So now here, what exactly I want to do is, like I'll go to GitHub. I'll go to my account Raham Sheikh, and here I have something called as all setups. Guys, remember, it is the go-to repository for all of your real-time work. If you want to work on real-time in automated manner, that is going to be your life-saving thing actually. Why? Because for entire tools, what we are going to learn on DevOps, I wrote script for each and every tool. Okay. So here, if I want to deploy the application, I already have the application here. So what I'm going to do is just copy the script and run it. Don't do anything. Copy the script and run it. So I'm just copying it and I'm just going to run it. sh netflix.sh. So now automatically that script is going to install everything on the Netflix, sir. We are not going to do anything. That script automatically do everything for the Netflix web server. So if you go and see, if I copy the public IP address, can I able to get my Netflix application? Already we seen in last class or not? So go here. Are you able to see Netflix application here? So like this, we gonna automate each and everything in our class. Guys, remember, in our class, there are no such word called manual works. As a DevOps engineer, your main role and responsibility is to automate everything. That is what we are going to learn from day one to day end. If you want me to show one more thing, anyone knows about Tomcat here? Tomcat. So I'll ask you a question. How much time it will take to set up Tomcat? How much time? Online, even you can answer. How much time it can take to set up the Tomcat server end to end? I think system admins or developers or like testers, you might know about this one. Online, like you can also tell the answer if you know. So basically, okay, fine. If you don't know, it's okay, I'll tell you. So when you use automation, it is taking less than 10 seconds only. Basically, if you go for manual way, let's consider, I have a Tomcat server. If I want to set it up in manual way, it will take more than 10 minutes. But if you write a script for it, it is going to set up on 10 seconds. Or if I want to set up Prometheus Grafana node exporter, sir, almost all it will take like 20 minutes, sir, for a Prometheus, Grafana, and Node Exporter in manual way. But if I make it automate, na, it is going to set up within 15 seconds. How many seconds? 3 tools I'm gonna set up. How many? These 3 tools are going to work within 15 seconds only. Like I'll show you practical for you. For example, if you go and see, so you are going to have one script here. Like let me write the script. So if you go to this script, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this script here. Sir, I'll do nothing here. Save this one. VIM abc.sh. I'll do nothing here. I'll just save this one and I'll run it one more time. Guys, this, like, don't worry about this script. Why? Because this is the part you are going to learn in upcoming classes. For your clarity, in demo classes, I'm going to explain you everything we are going to learn on automation method. The script ran, right? So now what I'm going to do is, if I want to connect to Prometheus, copy the public IP address and give the port number of 9100. And one more server is going to be your 3000. Just give me a second. Yeah, it is setting up now. Fine. Go and refresh. Are you getting node exporter here? Are you getting the metrics of your server? And if you copy the public IP address and if you go for 9090, are you seeing your Prometheus server? So you can set up everything whatever you want with the help of this script. Or if you want to go for Grafana, this all are your learning tools in your DevOps classes, guys. Each and every tool, if you run one single script, everything is going to set up automatically. Even if you want to set up Tomcat, we can run a script. If you want to set up Jenkins, we have a script. If you want to set up Minikube or KOps or even the KubeADM or even the Ansible, JFrog, Nexus, SonarCube, every tool, completely what are the tools we are learning in this course. For each and every tool, you will have the scripts. Of course, whatever the scripts I am using in the class, same scripts you can use on your real time also. Is the point clear whatever I said for you? The only thing I want to say for you is, in our course, we are going to not learning anything manual. Everything is going to be your automated learning. So that's the demo for today. So in today's class, what we have seen? We've seen only how to create the AWS EC2 instance. Don't remember, don't worry about this deployment and all. Why? Because this I have shown you for your clarity only. This I haven't teach you till now. This is what I am gonna teach you on the upcoming classes. So for today's class, I just shown you how to create the EC2 instance. So first of all, is that part clear for all of you now? Everyone. So now, how's the demo today? Is it good? Everything able to understand easily? Or like anything you are not able to understand, or if you are not able to get any point, like you can ask me in the class. So now we have still some more time to end the demo. In the meanwhile, what are the doubts and queries you are having? Both online and offline, you can ask. So coming to the point one more time. Guys, we already know this is going to be the hands-on course actually. Like let me give the course details once. So your course is going to be DevOps with AWS. That means you are going to learn both DevOps and apart from this, Linux is going to be completely free of cost. We are not going to charge it anymore. And course duration is almost all having 70 days. Okay. So class timings will be fixed. So from 4:30 to 6 will be the class timings. And after that, this is the hands-on batch. Hands-on batch means what are the topics I'm going to teach you. If you go for lab, so we are going to have the mentors team. Of course, along with mentors, I will be available in the lab also. Whenever you are practicing, if you are getting any doubts or queries, whether you are online student or offline student, we are going to help you in your doubts. We are going to provide a Zoom link for you. In that Zoom link, you can join. And what are the doubts and queries you are having, you can discuss with the mentors and along with me also. Of course, if you come to offline, you will have the lab support anyways. And the lab support is going to be the 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. mostly. In these 12 hours, whenever you are having any doubts or queries, me and my mentors team are also going to help you in your practice session. Coming to the tools, how many tools we are going to learn in this course? 13 tools. And coming to the projects, how many? 5 projects. 5 live projects. And daily I'm going to teach one troubleshooting technique. And apart from this, we are going to have the career guidance, resume building, mock interview support, and weekly assignments and daily tasks also going to provide. Upon all of this, we are also going to provide the placement support. For example, if you are a fresher, if you want to go with some fresher, so from 2019-20, like these kind of students, we are going to provide the placement assistance. That is also completely for the free of cost. So for the placement point of view, we are not going to charge anything from your end. It is completely free and everyone is going to be eligible. But if you want to attend to the placements, first of all, you need to complete your course. If your course is completed today, from tomorrow onwards, you can attend the placements. So you can need to join in the Naresh Shetty website. So we have some registration form there. If you go to Naresh Shetty website, there you can register with your ID. Whenever we are going to have some openings, right? Our Naresh Shetty team is directly going to send mails for you. So by checking the mails, everyone can able to attend to the interviews. So this is about the course details for you. And I hope like all of you got the syllabus link, right? I think we create one Telegram group. How many of you joined Telegram group? Raise your hands. Okay, if anyone haven't joined on Telegram group, so try to join. Why? Because what are the updates and what are the things that is going to happen for the next 70 days? We are going to provide every update and every notes from there itself. Okay. So now let's go with online queries for a few minutes. And one of the important factor with this course, how much of experience you can go with? That is damn sure for you. This point I forgot to mention. So now let's go for the online queries for a few minutes. So online, so Telegram link is got expired, unable to join. So Swapnil Joshi, like please contact your admin. He's going to provide you. So I'm also going to provide the admin details for you in the chat box. You can take it from there itself. So your admin for this batch is going to be Rajesh sir. So please contact Rajesh for all the things. Wait a second. I'm going to provide you the admin details for you. Sir, why should we take AWS separately? No. Basically, AWS separately is not required for us. You can learn AWS here, but still you want to go for complete knowledge on AWS. You can go to the AWS separate classes. So apart from anything like anyone want to speak, you can raise your hands, guys. If you are having any queries, if you want to speak, you can raise your hands. So Varsha, you can speak, Varsha. I give unmute option for you.
Hello. Good evening, sir. Actually,
One second, Varsha. I'm not able to hear you. Give me a second.
Okay.
Speak now.
Actually, I have 2 years of experience
Okay.
in operations team. So, like, I want to switch in DevOps. So, am I eligible? Like,
Yeah,
can
definitely, Varsha. See, since you are working as like currently where you are working on, like on which domain?
like as AWS and Azure operations.
Definitely you can. See, already you are having some cloud knowledge, right? So you can integrate your cloud knowledge with DevOps. So definitely you are going to have higher chances to get hired, like Varsha. Don't need to worry about that one. I'm gonna guide you how to do it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah. Great. Next, Kishore, you can speak, Kishore.
Hi, Rahmat. This is Kishore. Actually, I'm a language instructor, German language instructor, but I have a chance of getting into this IT in Germany.
Okay.
So I would like to know the prospects learning this course because most of my other friends have taken this course and then they were able to go to Germany. So
Okay, I got your profile. So Krishna, like Kishore, currently you are like a German language instructor, right?
Yes.
So the thing is, Kishore, so DevOps is going to be the booming technology already. Like you know this, I hope so. So like what happens is when you are working some other countries, so people will expect some experience level of stuff for you. So what is the best benefit if you take course from Naresh Shetty, So complete course we are going to provide on hands-on mode. That means what are the standards and what are the level of skills that industry is going to expect from you. We are here to deliver the same thing. So if you take this course and if you do a little bit of hard work, so definitely you can achieve your goal, Kishore. That's for sure. Hope it is clear for you, Kishore. Fine. Thank you. So Jagabandhu, you can speak now.
Yeah, hi Kishore. Sorry, hi Raham. It is my first class actually.
Okay.
So I'm in the development actually. So how far it will help me actually in my career actually?
Okay.
Because I
So
have
I'll
seen
tell you.
sometimes the companies are asking for some experience in the AWS, some
Okay.
knowledge in the DevOps. So can you please tell me a little bit about?
Tell you. So guys, listen to this one. So like what exactly he's asking, So one of our student from online, like he asking currently is a developer actually. So what is the like perspective to switch to DevOps actually? The best part is already developers know how to write the source code, right? So if they write the source code by their own, they can build it, they can test it, they can directly deploy into the production level and every non-prod level also. So we have developing area, testing area, and UAT and production area. So like what I'll suggest if you have the developer skills and DevOps engineer skill, the chances of getting hired is going to be very, very high. And the package also you can expect up to like 70% of your current CTC. Why? Because there in some rare scenarios, we will see developers are going to switch as DevOps. If you have the both skills, how to write the code and how to deploy it in the environments, so you can easily switch it with the help of these tools. So I'll guide you how to do all of this, like Jagababu, like don't worry about this one. In your future classes, I'm going to take one career guidance for you. So there I'll explain everything for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Pranati, you can speak, Pranati.
Hi, actually, I don't have any IT knowledge actually. I'm
Okay.
working in a private, backend process. Can I move to the IT sector? Is it possible?
Definitely. Since this is the scratch level course actually, guys. So before joining this course, you don't need to have any prior knowledge. Okay. So the only thing you need to have is patience to learn.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, Sajid Sheikh, you can speak.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm audible now?
Hello. I can able to hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
Sir. Hi. Sir,
Hi.
I'm still waiting. Like I'm waiting for this class the last 1.5 month because of the timing arrangement. Okay.
Okay.
So, hello. Right. So just I'm asking one question because I have Java developer. Like I have already knowledge of the Java and Spring Boot and all those things.
Okay.
So I need to switch that backend to DevOps. So it would help me to like how it.
Yeah, I'll guide you. So don't worry about this. This is the
Hello.
same case actually which I have encountered previously with Jagabandhu. So like the thing is, guys, in DevOps you can switch from any domain to any domain. For example, you be a developer, or you might be a tester, or even though you might be an IT administrator. It doesn't matter. So what you can do is you can add your prior skills to the DevOps, and you can able to easily switch. That comes under career guidance actually, Sajid. So in our course, I'm going to teach you how to deploy the Spring Boot applications and Java applications in all type of tools. Okay. Hope it is clear for you, Sajid.
Sir, sir, I'm right, sir. I'm actually 18 pass out actually.
Okay.
So like much
So
of gap.
no. Basically, it doesn't matter, Sajid. Why? Because currently we're working only, right?
Gap,
so your graduation won't come under the count if you're working now. Fine. So next, Jeevan, you can speak now.
Hi, Raham.
Hi.
Actually, in the class, we are talking about virtual servers, and the real time, as I say, that we are talking about the coding, the move from development to operations.
Okay.
Can you explain the difference? I didn't understand actually.
See, development team is going to write the code actually. What is the code written by the developer? They will use on their local laptop.
Okay.
But if they want to give that application to users, operation team is the one who is going to deploy the application in the servers.
Huh.
With the
use of servers, we are going to move the code.
Yes, with the help of servers, we are going to deploy the application from the server only. Every application we are going to use it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So I hope so. Like it is enough for today, guys. If you haven't got the chance to speak today, don't worry. I'm gonna allow you to speak for tomorrow's session also. So completely, we are going to have a few more demos. So where you can get answer for each and every query. So before I close the session, so offline one more time. Any doubts or any queries in today's session? Yeah, please. Sorry, in connection. Yeah, please. So basically, I'll tell you here how many options are we able to see here in the connection part? 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can use any of them to connect, but the best method to connect is SH client. Why? Because when we are using connection with the browser, so browser is going to halt for few minutes. For example, if you are not performing any command, it is going to stop after few minutes. But if you use terminal like MobiXterm, right? If you are not performing any command till 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you can able to save the terminal like that. And one more reason to use a terminal is you need not to log into AWS account while connected to your server. In your terminal only, you can configure the server and you can log in from it directly. So all the options I'm going to explain on upcoming classes. Why? Because these are initial classes, right? So everything we are going to flow have a step-by-step process only. So fine. So any online. So admin details I'm going to tell you, like just give me 1 second. So your admin is going to be Rajesh sir for this batch. I'm going to give you the Rajesh sir name. Like give me a second. So guys, like I'm going to give the name of name and the details of the admin. So admin is going to be Rajesh sir for your batch. So you can get the details of Rajesh sir here. What are the doubts and what are the queries you are having? You can ping him here. You can WhatsApp him directly. Okay, then fine. So that's end for today's session. So I hope the demo is good for all of you today. So in tomorrow's class, I'm going to start the new topic. Okay. Okay, then thank you. Thank you all of you. Let's have the session tomorrow. Have a great day.